Hello, everybody. Oh my fucking god, Morty. He literally just drank my milk, so I gave it to him. Oh, the way I start these lives is just outrageous. But this is me, unfiltered, and I always get something in my eye, every for every life. But I'm gonna start it with some milk. I'm not a sociopath. I got apple pie from the gas station. We're in the dark today. We are in the dark today. I'm just like stressed out, you know? And this low-key happens to me every time I read a new book. For a simple fact that I start to realize the friends that have been playing me for a fool and trying to trick me into doing things with them that I would have done had they just asked. Just the fact that you think you have to go around me like that. Oh. Mm. My cat is screaming that he wants to go outside, but it's so cold that he wants to come back right back in. So it's like, bro, I feel like he has short-term memory loss. Like, you don't like it outside because it's cold. And every day you want me to open the door for you. And every day you get mad at me for even letting you go outside. He gets so sassy. He's like, how dare you leave me in that cold? Like, bro, relax. Alessi. My brother's out there. Almost say hi. We're back. I served myself a little milk to have with some pie, and see, you know, I look over and he's stuck in the cup. My cup, yeah. So I poured it in there. And then he didn't want no more. I put it there. He was asleep and look at me stupid. But it's something. Go outside. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. Today, maybe this will lighten our moods. But you know what? This is not my mood today. This is my mood. I'm chill eat so today. Milk. OMG. Okay. So to be honest, wow, I'm having difficulty talking to you guys today because, okay, yeah, fuck it. I feel sad and like crying. Yesterday we learned good things. We learned that maybe your best friend is not jealous of you. They're just a red type and they like to compete. It's not because they want to better you or think they're better than you or want to one up you all the time. Secret competition. No, maybe they are just a red type, right? However, like I said yesterday before I went on live, I was listening to an audiobook about the art of seduction, and it reminded me of a friend of mine who plays these games with me, and it made me feel sad because it made me realize how little friends I actually have. I have 3. And one of them is not even in the state. But one thing to remain grateful for is that in 2 weeks we're gonna be together. And not only that, we're going on a cruise, Jamaica, something else, and Mexico. 3 places I've never been. And a 4th is the cruise itself. I've never been on a cruise. So I'm excited about that. But I guess I'm just exhausted because I haven't been smoking. So I don't fall asleep as easily. At least my appetite is coming back without having to smoke. That's great. But I don't know, it's a lot of changes. And you know, people with BPD don't do good with changes. But here we are. Which is ironic because we change a lot ourselves. But external factors changing is intense. And I'm definitely grieving things and coming to terms with this. And like, although I am aware that when something leaves, it makes room for something better every single time, I still am a human and there's still the grieving process, you know? So it's a balance in between allowing yourself to grieve but remaining grateful and aware of all the good things that life has in store for us. And it's like I want to cry but I can't. So I learned. I knew you guys probably didn't expect to see me so fast after last time I was here live. Because sometimes I take days or months or years. But here I am. Because 2 things that I want to focus on this week is knowledge. The brain. I feel like just focusing only on social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube has been rotting my brain and I just needed a quick break. Because when I go at something, I go at something hard, which is very red personality of me, but I don't have a balance and I want to have it. But now I'm not balancing either. I'm just reading. What I ate, I'm hydrated. I didn't work out 3 times this week already. And one thing about me is like, if I'm working out, I have to work out every single day. And like, wait, this Saturday. Exactly. I work out 5 times a week. But if I already missed out 3 days, I feel like, oh, maybe I'm just not a person that works out. Even if I've been doing it for 2 months now, strict, like without failing. My brain, like, my brain got, perceives that as, oh, this is just not what we do anymore. We got bored of it. But it's like, no, I didn't get bored of working out. I just, the gym was closed. On Tuesdays, I go to a weightlifting class and I didn't have a ride. And Friday, I just started to think like that. Like, oh, but I'm just exhausted. How can one work out when they're so exhausted? I'm gonna stretch today. I don't know, guys. I struggle a lot with how I want to portray myself on social media because I want to be super raw and open. But then I read books like The 48 Laws of Power and The Art of Seduction, and they say, nah, you gotta keep things concealed. And I'm like, but that's not me. But fuck. Like, I got to where I got in TikTok to the point that I'm getting paid by being me, spamming, whatever. But then ChatGPT and TikTok shop sellers told me don't spam. How do you think I got here? By being me. Like, I don't know when it's okay to break the rules. When is it okay to break the rules? Because it's gonna make you greater than everybody else by following your path. And when should you stick to the rules because it's gonna help you succeed? Like, how does one understand and define that? Like, I'm only fucking 25, bro. And I know that sounds like a lot, but like, no, the more I read, the more I realize I don't know shit about shit, So I'm just trying to find my way, and I feel like I've always tried to find my way my entire life, and that's the reason why I didn't start YouTube sooner, because I'm like, I'm not ready, I don't know who I am. Will I ever know who I am? Probably not. So here I am. This is me. Indecisive, yet decisive. I have all 4 personality types. These 3 peak, and this one is like half, but I'm all of them. I'm a complexity. Nobody's ever gonna understand me, and I shouldn't want people to understand me. I should just want to express myself for the sake of expressing myself, not giving a fuck who's watching and who's not. 0 viewers, 1, 2, 3,000 billions. Don't give a fuck. So that's why I'm here right now. And I hate long intros. I like when people get straight to the point when I watch a video. But me, I can't be like that. I watch people like that and I admire them, but I am not like that. And there's other people that appreciate people like me. So I'm gonna just be me, right? And I'm always having some identity crisis, and I probably always will. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm intelligent, that I have something to teach to people. It doesn't take away from the fact that I am funny, I am talented, and I just don't look at those things. I don't look at the good things. I just look at like, we don't know enough, we're not good enough. And it's like, fuck, bro. Don't be so harsh on yourself. And even this book told me yesterday, like, there's no such thing as a wrong personality pattern or a right one. You are who you are. You just gotta embrace it. The whole point of reading this book is to understand what personality type you are and realize how normal you are and how to communicate with the other types and how to accept yourself. So yesterday we read a bunch and we read about the red personality type behavior. Today, if you look at my old video, my last live, you'll see. Today we're gonna talk about yellow behavior. If you recognize this, you are a yellow personality type. By the way, statistics really quick. Since we're starting the video and we got some viewers, I'm gonna tell you really quick the personality traits of each color so that you can know and identify to each one. I'm just gonna name the adjectives. Red, aggressive, ambitious, strong-willed, goal-oriented, pushing, problem solver, pioneer, decisive, innovator, impatient, controlling, convincing, performance-oriented, results-oriented, powerful, initiator, speed, timekeeper, intense, opinionated, straightforward, and independent. Then there's yellow. Yellow people are talkative, enthusiastic, persuasive, creative, optimistic, social, spontaneous, expressive, charming, full of vitality, self-centered, sensitive, adaptable, inspiring, needs attention, encouraging, communicative, flexible, open, sociable, imaginative, and easygoing. Then there's green. Green people are patient, relaxed, self-controlled, reliable, composed, loyal, modest, understanding, lengthy, stable, prudent, discreet, supportive, good listener, helpful, producer, persistent, reluctant, thoughtful, conceals feelings, considerate, and kind. And last but not least, we got blues. Blue personality types are conscientious, systematic, distant, correct, conventional, seems insecure, doesn't mean they necessarily are. Objective, structured, analytical, perfectionist, needs time, reflecting, methodical, seeks facts, quality oriented, scrutinizes, follows rules, logical, questioning, meticulous, reflecting, and reserved. We talked about red yesterday, and now we're gonna pick up where we left off with yellow. How to recognize somebody whose head is in the clouds and get him back to reality again. You know a person like that? Um, the first subtitle is That Sounds Fun, Let Me Do It. In the Hippocratic world, green Pisces relax. Hey, gang shit. You're Pisces? Yeah, but you guys are also very stubborn. No judgment. But like, okay, if since you this is who you are, let me tell you the negative and positive things about your personality type. Um, greens are stable, which is great. That's why I love earth signs because I'm air sign and I'm the opposite. They're stubborn, they're uncertain, compliant, dependent, and awkward. But keep in mind, only 5% of the population has only one personality type. 85% have two combined, and then 15% have three or four. Me, I have three and a half. So I'm like that 15% of the population. Do you feel connected to any other colors as well? Maybe some of the, or just green? Because if just green, then you're a rare breed. But then the positive things about green is you're supportive, you're respectful, you're obliging, reliable, and pleasant. So that's nice. Like, it's very grounding, very friendly energy. Uh, mm, mm, mm. I just looked over my cat was like this. Green facts, but my favorite color blue. It's not about what your favorite color is. It's about which qualities you feel more identified at. But anyways, sorry. Let's stop eating this pie. Mm. Okay. In the Hippocratic, let me put this light up more because I can't see shit. In the Hippocratic world, we have now come to the sanguine person. Oh, because the red one was choleric, and this person is sanguine. I don't know if you know those terms, but when I was really little, that's what people used to describe personality types. Now we use colors, but it's the same shit. What other words can be used to describe him? Optimistic and cheerful. A person with a bright outlook on life. The thesaurus even suggests the epithet a man of possibilities. How about that? It is, in fact, an excellent description of yellow behavior. These are people who live to live, always finding opportunities for enjoyment. Life is a banquet, and yellows will see to it that they savor every bite. They are driven by merriment and laughter. And why not? The sun is always shining somewhere. I'm also yellow. I'm yellow and red are there. Do you know anyone who sees sunshine where others see dark clouds? I'm green, according to the book. Just green? You didn't feel touched by any other? Okay, cool, 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 cool. So you're like that rare 5%. But, you can have a little bit of qualities from other ones because, people can evolve based on their personal experiences and their perspective. Nope. Oh, we got a 5%er over here. Excuse me. Congratulations. Um, Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, what am I looking for? Okay. Have you met anyone who can laugh even though he hasn't had any good news for months? Then you've met a yellow. Have you been at a party and wondered why everyone flocks around a particular person, man or woman? Wow. Well, in the center of the circle, there's a yellow, entertaining anyone who wants to laugh. Yellows make sure that the atmosphere is at its zenith so that every event becomes a marvelous party. That's me. It's crazy. The reason why I was sad at the beginning of the life is because my mom was telling me how some people naturally attract everybody's energy, and some friends may not want to bring you around their friends. Like, they'll be your friend when you're together and it's just you, the two of you, and she won't be a bad friend, but she won't bring you around her friends because she doesn't want you to take the spotlight. And that lucky broke my heart because it's like I can't help, even when I really don't want anybody to talk to me, because I am bipolar. My personality type has nothing to do with my mental illness, BPD, bipolar, and it can be healed, but like eventually, not now. So even when I am low and I really don't want anybody to talk to me, and I'm not talking, and I'm dressed like a bum, people still come to me because it's my energy. I can't change it. And people are gonna exclude me because they don't want me to outshine them. But if only they understood their own energy and how they can use that energy to get people's attention, they wouldn't want to get attention the way I get attention. Because everybody is special in their own ways. No need to be insecure. There's not a right or wrong personality type. There just is. And you can work on getting personality traits, or at least pretend in public, like study like I am and pretend for different scenarios for different people to get what you want. You can do that. But you can't hate somebody because they have a personality type that you would rather have. How could you not like yourself? Blows my mind. But anyways, on to more positive things, which is very yellow of me. When something is no longer fun, they move on to another place where the atmosphere is better. Facts, bro. If I go to a club and the music sucks, I want to leave. Or I will literally put in my AirPods and dance to whatever song I'm listening to. And people are like, you're off beat. I'm like, what beat? I got my own music. I'm gonna have fun regardless. You know what I mean? Recognizing a yellow is easy. He's the one who's talking all the time. He's the one who gives answers rather than asking questions. Often answer. Wow, wait, let me read that again. He's the one who gives answers rather than asking questions. Facts. Facts. Sometimes I feel like I'm in an interview with people. They just keep asking me questions, and I'm like, wait, tell me about yourself. And sometimes I've been talking a lot because we are talkative, and I'm like, damn, sorry, I'm talking too much. And it was like, no, it's so interesting. Let me hear. And I'm like, oh, I like people that like me. It's nice. A lot of people hate me. Hate to love me. It's crazy. My cat is so cute behind the camera. I just want to kiss him. But let's focus. Often answering questions that no one has even asked. He answers a question by telling a story that may or may not have anything to do with the issue. But in reality, it really doesn't matter because he will put you in a cheerful mood. Besides, his unshakably positive attitude also makes it impossible for you to feel upset for too long. I know another yellow, and I love him. I would even go as far as to argue that yellows are more popular than the other colors. How can I say that? Look for yourself. They entertain, put people in a good mood, and fun things always happen around them. They know how to capture everyone's attention and how to keep it. They make us feel important. They are just nice to be around. I'm nice to be around. This book is doing wonders for my self-esteem. Wow. Oh, by the way, green person, green is next, so stay tuned so you can know more about yourself and it can help your self-esteem like this book is helping mine. They are also very typically touchy-feely people. Like reds, which I also am, yellows are very willing to make quick decisions, but they can rarely explain why using rational reasoning. Okay, so a red can explain the reasoning behind the quick actions, but yellows can't. They just feel it and they just go for it. A more likely response would be, it just felt right. Literally what I just said, bro. And sure, gut feelings shouldn't be underestimated. Studies have shown that gut feelings are right more often than we think. It's true, gut feeling has saved my life. But that's not the kind of gut feeling we're talking about here. Yellows often make decisions that are based on feeling simply because no thought was ever involved. Okay, stop it with the shade. Stop it with the shade. He said they didn't even think about it. They just went with it. Oh my god. No thought was ever involved is crazy work. I have a sister who is yellow. Marita is so easygoing in her manner that I have never heard anyone utter a single negative word about her. Never. I may be biased, but I have never met anyone who doesn't immediately like her. She has an entirely unique ability to connect with every person she meets. Marita always has something entertaining to say. However, some of these things are so peculiar that I sometimes have to ask her what she was thinking when she said them. With a burst of laughter, she usually replies, thinking? I wasn't. Yeah, no, see, I used to be a lot like that, and it got me in trouble. So, I developed thinking before I speak, or saying it in my head, and hearing how it sounds in my head, and imagining how they would react, and how it would be perceived. And then if it's all good, I say it. And it still causes the same effect. People laugh like, did you just come up with that? I'm like, yeah. After a whole, I did just come up with that. And then I thought if I should say it or not about a billion times, and then I said it. Funny. But it's something so exhausting. I just want to say things. I gotta be media trained. In many ways, it's liberating when I visit her and her husband leave. Their almost incomprehensible ability to see bright spots in everything around them is so delightful that it frees my own easygoing. Wait, what was funny? Oh, that I need to get media trained? Okay. It's so delightful that it frees my own easygoing disposition. I am never as happy and exhilarated as when I visit them. For years, I wondered why this was, and have reached the conclusion that yellow behavior is simply contagious. Nice. So you could just hang out with me and match my energy, but some people hang out with me and hate me. Save me from the clutch. Save me from the clutches. If I say to my sister, it looks like it is going to rain, she simply replies, I can't imagine that. Oh my god, that's me. Pointing to the window, I say to her, but look, it's actually raining. It is quite dark out here. We could have thunder before this is over. Sure, she says, but after that the sun will come out. Just wait and see. Then she laughs. Again, while the rain pours outside, she sits on the sofa, unabashedly having fun, and I, along with everybody else, laugh along because it's impossible to resist. No, it's funny. It's funny because not last year, 2 years ago, I have a friend and I that have the same birthday on the same day, and we went skydiving, and it looked like it was gonna start to rain. So after I jumped and somebody else jumped, my friend was left behind and she didn't get to jump because the weather was bad. And she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so upset if I don't get to go later, like if the rain doesn't stop. And I was like, the rain is gonna stop. And everybody was like, the weather says it's not gonna stop. And I'm like, it's gonna stop. Trust me, you're gonna get on that plane and you're gonna skydive today. And it did. And like, I had another friend that was also yellow and red, and she, yellow and green, I think she was. She and I and her and other people could make bad weather go away with their positive, like just believing. Like belief is important. Then another subtitle: the more, the merrier. Your friends are my friends. Me as fuck. That's why I don't understand why some people don't bring me around their friends. I would bring them around my friends, but I also had to learn the hard way that that's not always good. One second, I wanna eat. And I wanna lay down. Ah! A blanket. I'm cold. Get cozy with me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let's read. People with lots of yellow in their behavior are focused on creating relationships. They are outgoing and can be extremely persuasive. I'm not a people person, but I like people. I see. I don't like people, but I'm a people person. Funny, if that makes sense. Because I don't be liking how people be acting sometimes. I'm like, oh, lordy. But I love being around people. I love meeting new people and making new connections. So I get you. They are outgoing and can be extremely persuasive. They're enthusiastic, excited, and happy to talk about their feelings for others and not infrequently for complete strangers. Facts. Yellows can talk to anyone. They are not at all shy, perceiving most people they meet as pleasant. They even see strangers in a positive light. They're just friends you haven't met yet. Many people notice that yellows are always smiling and laughing. That's undoubtedly one of a yellow's strengths. Their optimism is invincible. Comments about how everything is going to hell are often met by remarks about what a beautiful view we have. Lol, for real, when somebody's complaining or being negative, I always say something positive and like just ignore what they're saying. I'm not gonna try to convince you to be positive, but I am gonna stay positive. Just like reds, yellows have lots of energy. They find most things interesting, and yellow individuals are the most curious people you'll ever meet. Everything new is enjoyable, and a great deal of yellow energy is spent finding new ways of doing things. True. Same as reds, though. Who gets the most holiday cards, do you think? Yellows? Yellows. Most contacts in their cell phone? That's right, yellows. Most friends on Facebook? You're getting the idea. Yellows. They have friends absolutely everywhere. I do have friends all over the world. And they are excellent at keeping in touch with everyone in order to keep up to date. I'm not that good at that, but I'm trying to be. Yellows want to know what's going on. They want to be where it's all happening, and they will make sure to be at every party. I don't really go to parties anymore. I mean, they're boring here, and I'm focusing on YouTube. But I like a good party. In Puerto Rico, I wanted to be everywhere, actually. Yellow people often see themselves as, excuse me, enthusiastic, charming, outgoing, inspiring, optimistic, flexible. Yes, definitely. Open, creative, spontaneous, convincing, easygoing, and communicative. Absolutely. Next subtitle. Isn't it amazing? I just love it to bits. If there is anything that characterizes yellow behavior, it's unlimited optimism and enthusiasm. Few things can keep their good mood away for long. The yellow's entire being is concentrated on one thing, finding opportunities and solutions. In this day, Hippocrates called yellows the sanguine ones. This simply means optimists. Nothing is really a problem. It will all sort itself out. Facts, bro. No matter how shitty the thing is, I'm like, it's gonna be fine. It's neither here nor there that the world just happens to be full of worries and hardships. With their incurably positive outlook on life, yellow individuals give joy to the people around them with their cheerful acclamations and entertaining jokes. I don't know where yellows get their tremendous energy, but it's focused on having fun and devoting themselves to social togetherness. Everyone must be involved, and a yellow will not allow anyone to be gloomy. Meek, a good friend of mine, is yellow, and his life has included more than his fair share of challenges. His wife left him, his children have had problems at school, and on various occasions his employers have gone bankrupt and he has lost his job. I can't even count how many times he had a car accident, his home has been burgled, or he has been robbed of expensive items. Sometimes I hardly dare to answer the phone when I see that Mike is calling. To tell the truth, Mike is the most jinxed man I have ever met. But what's so curious about him is that none of this ever seems to bother him. Naturally, he's upset when accidents happen, but he can't stay upset for long periods of time. Inside, he just bubbles along most of the time. I remember one occasion when we were both quite young, he had just bought an old Alfa Romeo, and it was a two-seater with two doors, painfully rusty. It was nothing short of a miracle that it even held together. Me Mike had the car for about a week when he hit a lamppost and couldn't get out of the driver's side. When I heard about the accident, I was worried and called to see if he was okay. His answer, "He was fine. I just got out of the other door." That's so funny. That's what I said when I got into the worst car crash ever and I almost didn't walk again. I couldn't get out of the passenger seat that I was in. I was like, it's fine. I just climbed out the window and I had like scars on my hands because the glass broke and I was like, my legs were numb completely. So I pulled myself up with just my hands, and when I got down, I fell flat on my face. And I was like, hey, at least I got out the window. Next subtitle, The Optimistic Consultant Strikes Again. Since yellow individuals are so positive and cheerful, they spread joy and warmth to those around them. With their uncontrollable optimism, they demolish all opposition quite effectively. Who can be upset when there's someone pointing out the good things all the time? How could anyone fail to be inspired by a person who refuses to see half-empty glasses, who always sees the positive? One of my customers is a sales director for a pharmaceutical company. Marianne worked her way up in the company via what we call the long route. Her managers and coworkers all agree that she's been so successful simply due to one thing, her amazing ability to inspire those around her. On a number of occasions, I've watched her conduct sales meetings. I consider myself a decent motivator. But when Marianne gets going, I just have to take your hat off to her. You just have to take off your hat off to her. Within a couple of minutes, the room is so inspired. If she were to ask the sellers to jump out the window, they'd do it, even though they are on the fifth floor. I have a dog tag and not actually Puerto Rican. What do you mean by a dog tag? Thank you. You're not Puerto Rican? I'm confused. She makes everything sound so simple. It's a great idea to jump out the window. We can do this. Let's jump. Dog tag necklace. I just don't get why you said that. I'm confused. Yes, off topic. And the group jumps after her. With her optimism and bright outlook on life, she is phenomenal at getting people to achieve great feats. Just by closing their eyes to anything negative, with sheer inspiration, she can inflate people's confidence with incredible levels. I once saw her dealing with an irate customer who felt mistreated by her organization, not a situation most people dream about. It turned out it wasn't a problem for Marianne, but just smiling steadfastly at the customer and refused to listen to his negative comments, she moved him from angry face to a gentle smile and finally to boisterous laughter. How could that happen? I don't think that even she could explain the underlying process. It simply came natural to her. Next subtitle. What happens if we turn everything upside down? You won't find anyone more resourceful than a Yellow. If there's anything Yellows have an aptitude for, is seeing solution where others do not. Yellows have the unique ability to twist and turn things. To put it simply, they turn everything upside down and think outside the box. Call it what you want, but their thinking doesn't always follow any set pattern. They move quickly. The Yellow's intellect is very fast, which means that it can be difficult to keep up. Sometimes they can even find it difficult to explain their wild ideas. A good friend of mine likes to work in his home. Everything relating to interior design and garden design fascinates him. I suspect that Robin would secretly rather work in design on a full-time basis instead of his actual job. I've seen this for myself, but I've also heard from his wife how he goes about things. He walks around the garden and she starts counting backwards from 10. On 7, Robin says, "Honey, I have an idea." There are a few reasons for Robin's creativity. It's easy for him to think of images. He can simply see things in front of him long before they even exist. Same. And he has courage. He is not afraid to try new things or to talk about them. Usually, his mouth works parallel to his mind as he discovered these ideas. I've worked with literally, bro. I'll be telling people ideas I have, and they're like, "When you come up with this?" I'm like, "Literally right now. I thought of it right now." As I was saying, I was making it up as I was saying it. Wow, so it's like because I'm a Yellow. I worked with a Yellow who couldn't even cross the street without coming up with a few really thought-provoking business ideas just by looking around. How does this work? I don't really know. For a long time, we asked him to write down his proposals. You'll learn more about how a Yellow will react to that kind of structure when we start talking about weaknesses. Yeah, somebody keeps asking me to write down my idea, and I've been struggling. I need somebody else to do it for me. Yellows are also helped by the fact that they rarely have any limitations. A Yellow dares to go beyond the usual conventions when he's in a creative mode. Normally, of course, structure and hierarchy in a business are a kind of limitation, but Yellows are rarely concerned about such things. In fact, they often don't seem to know that such limitations are there. Need help with new suggestions or ideas? Hunt out the most Yellow person you know. Are you stuck in the same way of thinking? Do you need a new perspective on an old pattern? Speak to a Yellow. You might not be able to use whatever idea scheme they come up with. In fact, realism isn't a factor for a Yellow, but one thing can lead to another, and then all of a sudden you have something that works. Next subtitle. Selling snow to a penguin. Gang. With all their energy and optimism, Yellows are very persuasive. It's easy for them to get carried away, seeing opportunities and solutions where others might see a dead end. It's often said that there is a difference between convincing and persuading, and many Yellows cross these boundaries. But what they say sounds so good. With the help of language, they really are masters at winning over people to their side. Reading language. Regarding language, as I described in the chapter on body language, page 106, hey, we're gonna learn about body language. Most Yellows have a rich and varied way of gesticulating so that they can convince you not just with their words, but with their entire bodies. But it's not just energy and will. Yellows have a unique way of expressing themselves that sways their listeners. They often use vivid and colorful imagery when they speak, which appeals to all five senses and creates an impression that is felt by the whole body. Without even knowing it, many Yellows are skilled rhetoricians. Rhetoricians. They know instinctively that their ethos, the bearer of the message, is just as important as the message itself. True. Being known that, therefore, they are mindful of getting through to you as an individual, usually by being friendly and shaking your hand, making small personal comments, making you feel important. Many politicians are phenomenal at this. Think of Bill Clinton, for instance. He has the kind of charisma that it naturally presents in many yellows. A noticeable interest in another person, the ability to ask exactly the right questions so that others feel that they are important. Next subtitle, second to last. I know lots of people, well, last subtitle. I know lots of people, all of them, in fact. If yellows aren't allowed to cultivate their relationships, they will slowly wither and die. Okay, this may be somewhat exaggerated, but the very definition of yellow behavior revolves around their ability to build relationships. The yellow traits are inspirational. They inspire those around them, and the best way to achieve this is through building relationships. A yellow knows that by far the most important factor in business, for example, is relationships. If your customer doesn't feel positively about you, it will be difficult to make any headway. Yellow knows everyone. They have more acquaintances than everyone else. They like everyone. A yellow doesn't need to know a person very well before calling him his friend. Anyone who doesn't actively dislike them, they consider to be a pal. Remember that when reds ask what is going to be done, yellows want to know immediately who will do it. This question is crucial for yellows. If the team or group does not function smoothly, a yellow will not feel well. He needs functioning relationships for him to come into his own. Conclusions on yellow behavior. What do you think? Have you ever met a real yellow? Famous people who exhibit clear yellow traits include Oprah Winfrey, Robin Williams, Ellen DeGeneres, and to take some fictional examples, Pippin from The Lord of the Rings and Han Solo from Star Wars. Oh my god. Ooh. I haven't been here now. Oh. I haven't even been here for an hour and I'm already tired of reading. I think it's the light is hurting my eyes. Oh. Is the green person still in the chat or did he leave? Lee the boss, are you here? Because if you're not, I'll read the green later. What time is it? 5:13. Oh, you're here. Okay. Okay, I'll read. Just 1 second. I don't even want this right now. I want candy. I want something to chew on because I feel anxious, you know. I want to like meditate or work out. Switch it up, you know what I mean? I can't find the loose ones. Fine, I'll open this. Okay. Green behavior. Why change is so difficult and how to get around it. So apparently, green behavior types struggle with change. Is that so, Lee? Candy. It's funny because as a kid, I hated candy. I liked chocolate for a while and then I got over it. But I never liked candy. Now I do. You know how it's crazy how like some people, when they're kids, they like sweets and then they like sour things as they grow up. Like, because their palate changes. Mine is changing into sweets. Sorry. I feel like if one day some book company hit me up and they were like, we want you to be the author, like the voice actor of our audiobook, please, because we love your accent. I will have to record it in different settings. And when it breaks. Mmm. Okay. First subtitle. How are we going to do this? It's not urgent, right? The green person. I can't see. Hold on. The green person is the most common. You'll meet him virtually everywhere. What's the easiest way to explain who he is? Well, I would like to describe him as being the average of all the other colors. Please don't interpret that as something negative. Keep in mind that what this truly implies. While reds are stress performance seekers, yellows are creative bon vivant guys, and blues are perfectionists, knights of Excel spreadsheets. See pages 13 and 14. Greens are the most balanced. That's great. Well, we got the reds stressing the fuck out, trying to compete with everybody they meet. And yellows are creative bon vivant guys, and blues are perfectionist knights of Excel spreadsheets. You guys are the most balanced. I have always wanted balance. They counterbalance the other more extreme behavioral traits in an elegant way. Hippocrates called them the phlegmatic people. Phlegmatic. The Aztecs called them earth people. Calm, leisurely, and easygoing are some words that could also describe them. It's just a matter of stating the facts. Not everyone can or should be extreme. Otherwise, we would never get anything done. Wow. If everyone were a driven leader, there would be no one left to be led. If everyone were an enthusiastic entertainer, there would be no one to amuse. And if everyone were a detail-oriented perfectionist, there wouldn't be anything to keep in order. Wow. So you green people keep things in order, get entertained, and get led. Interesting. This means that the greens didn't... This means that the greens... Fuck. This means that greens don't stick out in the same way as others do, and they often lend serenity to a situation. Where reds and yellows start off in top gear, greens are significantly calmer. And where blues get caught up in details, greens try to feel their way to what is right. That's beautiful. If you have a friend who is green, he'll never forget your birthday. He won't begrudge you for your success. That's nice. And he won't try to take the spotlight off you by reeling off his own stories. I know who would though. He won't try to outdo you. And he will never pester you with new and drastic demands. Nor will he see you as a competitor if you were ever placed in that situation. He won't take command unless he has been told to do so. And he won't... Just a minute, please. You might be thinking, that's just a lot of things he doesn't do. So what does he do? You can't ignore the fact that greens are more passive than others. They're not as driven as reds, not as resourceful as yellows, and not as orderly as blues. This describes most of the population. For this very reason, they are easy to deal with. They let you be yourself. They don't demand much, and they never kick up a fuss unnecessarily. Children with green features are usually described as being little angels. They eat when they're supposed to, they sleep when they're supposed to, they do their homework when they're supposed to. But it's not just that. Greens will not offend people if they can avoid it. They'd rather not offend anyone at all, and they won't talk back if the boss makes a strange decision. At least not to his face, that is. During the coffee break, it may be somewhat different, but more on that later. Y'all little gossipers. But it's not just that. No, wait. They usually strive to fit in, which makes them more balanced people. They're ideal for calming down confused jellos. Aww. For example, and they're excellent at warming up blues. So they got like a little bit of everything. And they're perfect for everyone. That's sweet. They're like a base, like they can be they can be warm to the coldest type of people. They can be calming to the most anxious type of people. So they're saying, and they're excellent at warming up blues, who on occasion can indeed be a tad too cold. We often hang out with a family. We often hang out with a family whose husband, where the husband is yellow and loves to horse around and take center stage. He comes up with amusing games and is more than happy to answer any questions himself. Everyone else is his audience, and he never steps out of the spotlight. His wife is green, calm, composed, and as laid back as can be. When he jumps around and frolics, these are middle-aged people. She sits quietly on the sofa and smiles. She's just as entertained as everyone else by his antics. When I ask her if she ever gets tired of her comical husband, she sometimes replies quietly, "But he's having so much fun." Oh, I'm gonna cry. Green people are the sweetest. I wanna marry a green guy. It's decided. I need it because I am red, yellow, and blue. All my personalities need green in them to balance it out, you know what I mean? But are green people rich? Can they be successful? Because I know that red, yellows, and blues can. Let's follow on. This is a typical green trait. They are very tolerant towards other people's more singular behavior. Is the picture becoming clearer? Greens are the people you might not think about. Most of us, that is. What? I love green people. Some simple basics. Green people are kindness personified. You can expect a helping hand whenever you need it. They are pronounced relational people who will do everything within their power to save your relationship. And they will invest lifelong. They're loyal. Loyal lovers. They will keep track of when your birthday is, when your partner's birthday is, when your children's birthdays are, etc. It wouldn't surprise me if they even know when your cat first saw the light of day. Dang, memory like an elephant. It's often said that greens are the best listeners, and this is true. A green will always be more interested in you than in himself, and if perchance he should be interested in himself, he would never dream of showing it. Aww. You often find greens in the public sector, where they help others with no concern for personal gain. They are also pronounced team players. The team, the group, the family always comes before the individual. And I would even say that societies consisting of greens will always take care of the sick and the weak. They will not leave a friend in need. You can call them at any time. They will always offer a shoulder to cry on. Change isn't their greatest strength, even though change isn't completely foreign to them. If you can simply justify the change and give him enough time, even a green will be prepared to try new things. But a green will remind you that you always know what you have, but you never know what you might end up with. The grass is not automatically greener on the other side, so to speak. Interesting. So they appreciate what they have, even if that's no longer serving them. But if you can show them that it's no longer serving them, they don't have a problem moving on. No, they're not stubborn. Wait, but why did it say they were stubborn? Green people often see themselves as, excuse me, friendly, calm, reliable, considerate, pleasant, patient, predictable, stable, team player, discreet, thoughtful, and a good listener. The best pal in the world. As I've already said, these are naturally friendly people. When they tell you that they sincerely care about how you're doing, you can trust that they lie awake, sleepless for your sake. I have that trait. Just like yellows, greens are relationship people, and their interest in others is genuine and authentic. If you ask a group of people if anyone is prepared to lend a hand and no one steps up to help, a green will jump in and shout, "Choose me." Why? Because he didn't want to leave you in the lurch. He knows that if you don't get any help, you will feel bad. Even though he can be passive, he's always prepared to help a friend. I still remember a young woman I worked with at a consulting firm years ago. Admittedly, Maja was certainly blue as well. But above all, she was green. Her problem was obvious. When someone asked for help, she always said yes, every time. It was difficult to find her desk due to her workload, but she organized everything in the end. We could always rely on her assistance, handling all the things the rest of us had simply forgotten about. She had a warm and friendly smile, so we asked her to work in reception and have the first contact with the new clients. She never failed to serve coffee, fix the cushions, or keep track of how long the client had been waiting. Maja never forgot anyone's birthday or anniversary, or their wives or children's for that matter. She frequently sent short emails to all of us stressed out consultants, reminded us that we had families who also needed to be looked after. Sure, we would take care of our own lives, but in her kindness and thoughtfulness, Maja went out of her way to help. It was natural for her, and whenever we asked her to take it easy and take care of herself for a change, she almost felt offended. She wanted to take care of us. It simply made her feel good. Of course, there were limits. "Hey, Anthony." And Maja constantly ran the risk of someone taking advantage of her huge heart. But when properly balanced, this selflessness is a beautiful quality. Greens do this naturally. When having coffee, it's quite normal for you to ask the people with you if they would like a refill. How's my day? It's going great. You? Let's focus on the book. When other colors would likely take their empty cups away. Greens do this naturally. When having coffee, it's quite normal for you to ask the people with you if they would like a refill. When other colors would likely take their empty cups to the coffee maker, greens will simply fetch the coffee carafe and refill everyone's cups. Oh, I do that. I'm glad to hear, Anthony. A green wants to stay on good terms with everyone, so he'll even help people he doesn't really like that much. Otherwise, there might be some kind of hula baloo. Don't know what that means. He thinks well of most people and is confident in others' abilities. Sometimes he does this so intensely that it ends badly. But normally, that's the fault of the other person, nor the green himself. He's good-hearted, that now and then others take advantage of him. Last, a good friend of mine, is a truly genuine friend. It makes no difference how much he has to do. If anyone needs a helping hand, Lass is there, ready to support him. Sometimes, in Lass's eagerness to help with other people's work, he even forgets to do his own. On weekends, he drives his own and others' children everywhere they want to go. He helps people move. He lends out his tools without people even needing to ask. He listens if you call and complain about something. This all takes a huge amount of time, but he enjoys it. Oh, I didn't hear what you were saying. You said me, he, yup, all facts, me, facts. Are you still here, Lee? Lee, I'm tired of reading. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 more. I'm on page 42. Okay, I left on page 42. I'm gonna leave this piece of paper inside of it. I'm gonna go live again tonight to read some more. Wait, let me see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I read almost 13 pages. Yeah, I have a headache. I want to take a nap because I didn't sleep well because I was freezing all night. So I'll go live again and read later. Please turn on notifications so you don't miss it, because when I go live again, I'm going to be finishing the green part. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the like. If it was you that gave it to me. If not, please give it to me to help me with the algorithm. And thank you so much for talking to me and engaging so I don't feel lonely. Love you. Peace, God and goddesses. See you later.